Apparently, WWE wants it to be Wrestlemania already because this was one of the worst SmackDown Live episodes of 2019. We'll talk about it right here, SmackDown Live on Off the Script.
Delete this man.
People still Man, I've been very critical of WWE and the entire road to WrestleMania. But man, that ending to SmackDown Live tonight with Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan, it's truly one of those simple things with two personalities who are so great at what they do and complement each other so good. It's two guys like that generate the amount of interest that we've all been looking for on this entire road to WrestleMania. That contract signing did everything that it was supposed to do to close a go-home show. They made the WWE Championship a big deal. Daniel Bryan is absolutely fantastic in what he does. There's nobody better right now that's getting underneath the skin of the fans and the babyface as a heel in Daniel Bryan. Kofi Kingston, no matter what you think of the entire storyline, the ups and the downs, the convoluted ways that WWE got us here, the overwhelming nature of their love for the gauntlet match, everything that was this feud and this storyline that resulted in this contract signing, this is what I'm looking for when we're talking about getting excited for WrestleMania. I loved everything about that contract signing. It was simple. It was to the point. Everybody played their roles perfectly. The crowd loved it. That was just a taste of what we're going to see at MetLife Stadium. Believe me, we'll talk about it more in depth as we get on with the SmackDown Live review. Also tonight, I don't know what the fuck WWE was thinking. 18-person tag team match, including men and women. Don't know what the fuck they were smoking in the afternoon that they came up with that decision. We'll go over that as well. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and the Women's Battle Royal are looking as worthless as ever for WrestleMania 35. Also, The Miz. The Miz tonight was put in a 3-on-1 handicap match, Falls Count Anywhere, against Sanity. And what do you think happened? Did Sanity get back on the road to moving up the ranks? Or did they get buried by the king of softcore? Or whatever the fuck they call him. Soft style. The Miz. Softcore, like he's doing some fucking porno with Maurice. The king of softcore. Like he's gonna show up on Cinemax. The Miz. Any way you look at it, the fucking Sanity members, they're better off going on Cinemax. Believe me. Unbelievable how one man in The Miz buries Killian Dane, Eric Young, and Alexander Wolf. Ridiculous. There's nothing realistic about that whatsoever. The Usos finally got challengers for the tag team championships. Don't like the way they went about it. I got my critiques about it. But another match added to WrestleMania. Man, I can't fucking wait to sit down and watch 19 matches on Sunday afternoon. Also, probably the biggest story coming out of SmackDown Live is Rey Mysterio. There was no Rey Mysterio versus Andrade Cien Almas tonight. This was supposed to be a classic match on the road to WrestleMania on the go-home show of SmackDown Live. Apparently, Rey Mysterio was injured in his match with Baron Corbin. I don't know what the fuck that means, but Samoa Joe may be without an opponent for the United States Championship at WrestleMania. So we'll talk about that, as well as I got the new story staring right at me. We'll talk about everything tonight on SmackDown Live. Make sure you guys go follow me on social media, both on Instagram and Twitter, at JD from NY206. I would appreciate that very much. If you guys want to keep up to date on anything that's happening Mania weekend, those are the two places to keep an eye and an ear on for sure. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I am right here giving you guys the best opinion in the YWC when it comes to everything WWE. If you guys want to support the podcast on Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Thank you guys so very much for all of that. What's up to my patrons? You guys will be getting the SmackDown review in audio format, the only place that is uploaded, right there on Patreon. If you guys want to check out this week's videos, man, Monday Night Raw was the best go-home show ever in many, many years. I am kidding. I'm kidding. It was only an April Fool's. Thank God the majority of you did not fall for the April Fool's joke. That was one of the worst go-home shows of all time. Don't know what they did, and it was downright god-awful. So if you guys want my thoughts on Monday Night Raw, that was actually uploaded earlier this morning. Make sure you guys go and check that out. I was blown away by the reception to the Monday Night Raw review. We hit over 20,000 views in 4 hours. So thank you guys so very much. We're already nearing 30,000. We're getting close to 2,000 thumbs up. You guys are fucking beast, man. Maybe I should be quiet and silent on social media a little bit more. If you guys missed my Off the Script this past weekend, parts 1, 2, and 3, as you see the thumbnails float across your screen right there in front of you, go and check that out. Everything you missed is going to be linked in the annotation, that little eye that you see in the top right corner of your screen. Make sure you go and support all of those videos. I would really, really appreciate it. Bonfire.com is the exclusive home of JD's Elite, the only place where you can get this beautiful t-shirt, and I hope you guys go and get yours today. Link is down in the description. When I am asked about the quality, pro wrestling tees to me are the king of quality when you're talking about professional wrestling t-shirts. Bonfire's quality is the same as pro wrestling tees. Believe me, man. I'll be wearing mine to the meet and greet. I hope that you guys, if you've already purchased, are wearing yours to the meet and greet at Hooters, man. Bonfire.com, link is down in the description below. And speaking of the meet and greet, man, Hooters, 155 West 33rd Street, New York City, right across from Madison Square Garden. Make sure you guys come on out right before NXT TakeOver New York, where we are going to crown either Adam Cole or Johnny Gargano as the new NXT champion. Friday, April 5th from 1 to 4 p.m. Come hang out, man. Wings, beer, preferably Guinness. We're going to see over 100 fucking goons there. We're going to see some House of Glory representatives there as well. Make sure you guys come on out. It's going to be great, and I promise you all a good time, man. So show up. If you guys want to let me know, RSVP down below in the comment section. That will be pinned at the very top. I would really appreciate it if you're coming for sure, or at least thinking about it, so I can give the heads up to Hooters management, man. Thank you guys so very much for all your support. Last but certainly not least, sign up for the newsletter, man. Going out right before I get into the city for WrestleMania weekend. The newsletter right now, Off the Script. Sign up for the official mailing list, jdfromny.com. Once again, very simple, jdfromny.com. SmackDown Live started off with the Kevin Owens show. Man, has Kevin Owens fallen off the face of the earth, man. What the fuck has happened to Kevin Owens? He's nothing but a fucking talk show host now. Now, I don't expect him to be in anything prominent going into WrestleMania, being that he came back late and he really didn't factor into anything. They tried to add him into the WWE title situation, but nobody was going to step on Kofi Kingston's toes, so he was merely used as a pawn by Vince McMahon in the grand scheme that is Kofi Kingston going to WrestleMania. So we got the Kevin Owens show. Kevin Owens is sitting down in a suit jacket. He's got his t-shirt on. Owens was sitting in the ring. Out comes Randy Orton and his guest as well, face to face with AJ Styles. Now, Orton was leaning back in the chair like all of you fucking goons who are young enough and still in school, very lackadaisical in the classroom. You're probably pulling out your cell phone. He seemed very unentertained by what was going on. Although Randy Orton didn't pull out his cell phone, he just seemed to be sitting there very, very lazily. He didn't really give a shit about AJ Styles. AJ Styles was there, and he was all business. Now, Owens asked Randy Orton if he's proud of ruining the Angle Styles match from last week. Owens noted that Randy Orton, as soon as he mentioned, "Are you happy about ruining that match last week?" Randy Orton, like a prick, this is the best version of Randy Orton, smiled and smirked sadistically. I love it. That's the Viper we need to see at WrestleMania. Orton simply said, "Hell yeah, I'm proud." Then we got him to say exactly what we were all thinking. He said that he saved the WWE Universe from a beat-down, washed-up, old, broken-down former Olympian who thinks he's still at the top of his game. He saved us from that individual. I can't really sit here and disagree with Randy Orton. He also said, and this was my favorite part, he saved us from watching the match. Maybe Randy Orton should show up on Monday Night Raw and save us from Monday Night Raw. I think that would be a nice little trade-off. Maybe we could get him on Monday nights some nights instead of Tuesday nights if he's got this much talent. I don't know, it's just an idea. Please, WWE. You usually take most of what you hear and see in the YWC. Why don't you listen to me and borrow Randy Orton for his talents here? I would like to see that. Styles said that comes from a guy who's been here for 20 years in the ring with legends and has learned one move. So Randy Orton has one move. He's got the RKO. Now, AJ Styles didn't bury the RKO. He said, yeah, it's deadly, but it's just one move. Orton said that when you have a move that is that deadly, you only need one. So Randy Orton pretty much backing up the fact that you could get by in WWE with no wrestling ability. Even though we all know Randy Orton's one of the greatest of all time, he's pretty much generically stating, well, all you need is one move when it's that good. So there you go. Orton said the fans think the indie guys have it so hard by traveling around the world, trying to make a name for themselves, trying to make ends meet, wrestling in high school gyms and armories and then back to the high school gyms, trying to impress dozens and dozens and dozens of people, making $50 a night. He said he wrestled during that time in front of tens and tens and tens of thousands of people at WrestleMania. And Randy Orton started to get really fucking mad at this point. Styles said that when he was in high school gyms wrestling in front of dozens and dozens of people, Randy Orton was in WWE, and I use this term loosely, getting suspended for failing drug tests. Now, we don't really know how many drug tests Randy Orton has failed. We know that he's failed quite a few. I believe it's more than enough to get him terminated, but being that he's Randall Orton, nothing really happened to him. So Randy Orton was very agitated at this point. Now, Orton sat back, took a deep breath, and he said if he was good as he thinks he is to Styles, you would have been in the WWE a very long time ago. Orton says Styles' legacy isn't hard work pays off. It's that now you're a corporate bitch now that John Cena has left for Hollywood. The oohs and the ahs of the crowd, they started laughing because Kevin Owens literally had nothing else to add to this entire segment. He let these guys go free-for-all, and I'm not talking about fucking Call of Duty. They went free-for-all. He got up, He exited the ring, and he wanted nothing to do with these guys at all because he knew exactly what was about to happen. And they started brawling right there on the set of the Kevin Owens show. Back and forth, Randy Orton got thrown into the turnpost or the turnbuckle, and we got AJ Styles headfirst into the table. It all resulted in AJ Styles getting the best of Randy Orton. He was about to go for the phenomenal forearm, and then in midair, in the phenomenal forearm flight, Randy Orton pulled out the RKO out of nowhere. Now, I love this. I thought this entire segment was fucking great. I love the interaction between Orton and Styles. They continue playing off the real-life feeling of Randy Orton shitting all over the indies. AJ Styles got a couple of cracks at Randy Orton saying that he's got one move, and that's all you're known for. And the drug test violations, yeah, I was in the indies, but you were failing drug tests left and right while in the WWE. I like the fact that they're bringing a sense of realism into everything. It feels a little bit more real, you know, compared next to Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan. It feels genuine. It's one of the very few things on WrestleMania's card that feels genuine. Both guys feel that exact way. How they really feel is how they're portraying themselves in this storyline. Now, the only thing I didn't like is the fact that we got an RKO out of a phenomenal forearm. That's one spot that we're not going to see at WrestleMania. And I hope to God we don't see the same thing on Sunday night, because everybody, before these two even got in each other's face to build this feud, everybody was wondering, the first thing on their mind was, how is Randy Orton going to get the RKO on AJ Styles? There's a multitude of ways that Randy Orton could get the RKO on AJ Styles. This is one of them. I don't want to see this at WrestleMania now. If they do it again at WrestleMania, it's going to be blah. We've seen it on SmackDown Live already. Now, what I want to see is, that's not the only move AJ does off that top rope as far as the springboard goes. I'd love to see AJ Styles do the springboard 450 and RKO right into the finish of the match. That's what I would like to see. Now, I don't know if that's going to top the stomp where he lifted Seth Rollins up in San Francisco and got him with the RKO there to win that match several years ago, but I think that would be high on the list of RKO attempts or moves turned into the RKO by Randy Orton. Now, that Seth Rollins one was brilliant. The one that he got Matt Sydal with, Evan Bourne, that one was fucking beautiful. I think AJ Styles and Randy Orton are going to give us a top 3 move from AJ Styles into an RKO at WrestleMania. But I know we're not going to see that one because they already gave it away on free TV. But I thought this was great, and this is one of the very few matches that I'm looking forward to at WrestleMania. The New Day, we're in the back there. We're looking over their contract. Xavier Woods, Big E, we're cheering on Kofi Kingston. He was looking at the contract. He was very eager to sign his name on the dotted line for the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. Aleister Black, Ricochet, and the Usos versus The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, Rusev, and Shinsuke Nakamura. I forgot to mention this on Monday Night Raw Review, and I'm not surprised that WWE had to go out of their way and add their little touch on top of an NXT entrance that really didn't need anything. You know, I don't really like the fact that WWE just stalls the camera on the fucking candles in Aleister Black's entrance. It was never like that in NXT, okay? It's very plain, it's very boring. They had to go and change the image that we're used to seeing in NXT with his adjustment now on the main roster. But what they did is they added some scary movie Hollywood effect to when he rises up from the crypt. You hear like a door creaking, or you hear some type of fucking Hollywood effect there. I don't know exactly what it is, but they added that while they set the camera on him rising from the depths. Another thing that they never did in NXT. You never seen him rise or where he was rising up from. WWE is ruining, slowly but surely, Aleister Black's entrance and the entire mystique that is Aleister Black. My buddy Jesse claimed today, he's like, well, they're doing all this shit, they're changing all this shit. Believe me, it's coming. One day, you will not be surprised when Aleister Black is just cut down to Aleister. I hope to God not. I would genuinely, that would be That would piss me off more so than anything else that they did as far as altering somebody's name. That's ridiculous. So WWE, changing things here and there about Aleister Black's entrance. Another thing about Aleister Black and Ricochet, because he is not guilty, or he's not innocent rather, of what I'm about to say next. They're both guilty, and it's not even their fault. It's not even their fault. They are unfortunately in the line of fire here. When Aleister Black and Ricochet were on NXT, we sometimes wouldn't see them, for a week, 2 weeks, at max 3 weeks, right? And when you seen them in that rare time, once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks, it'll be a rarity that you see them 2 weeks in a row, right? We seen them for the Dusty Classic. Obviously, we had to see them with the Dusty Classic because they advanced in every round and they eventually won the entire tournament. That I'm okay with. Once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks. And now on Monday Night Raw, for the better part of a month, they're on Monday night, they're on Tuesday night, they're on Wednesday night. That's 3 times every single week, up from usually once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks. The more we see of Aleister Black and Ricochet, the less that they're going to come off as important. And this is all WWE's fault. And I hate this. It really bothers me. Because this is WWE trying to use something new and something fresh in Aleister Black and Ricochet to make up for their shortcomings for not pushing the roster that they had before these guys made the main roster. Now they're looking to Aleister Black and Ricochet to rejuvenate a tag team division here on Monday night, a tag team division there on Tuesday night, maybe a singles match here on Monday night, a singles match there on Tuesday night. But we're seeing them on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday. We're going to see them on Friday. We're going to see them on Sunday. How many days for Aleister Black and Ricochet before people are saying, man, I'm fucking bored of these guys? They don't really seem as special anymore. They don't seem as special anymore. And this is WWE's fault. Because they fail to push the fucking guys that they got on the roster now. They fail to make mid-card acts, and get behind mid-card acts and eventually get those mid-card acts, moving up the ladder. They want to push everybody else down and use someone that's new and fresh and exciting to hopefully generate interest. And meanwhile, you're burning everybody out on Aleister Black and Ricochet. I fucking hate it, man. The Usos, The Bar, Cesaro, Sheamus, Rusev, Shinsuke Nakamura. Eight-man tag here between these 4 teams. And I hated this. This was just a lot of confusion. This was all over the place. And I said, as I was watching this match, I pray to God that what we get here is not the Usos overcoming all the odds here and then getting put in a match with all 3 of these teams for their WrestleMania match. What do you think happened? Of course, I was right. The Usos, Ricochet, and Aleister Black win. Cesaro went back and forth with Aleister Black and Sheamus. Jay entered the ring. Rusev threw Jay out of the ring. Jay Uso, by the way, clowns. Jay Uso out of the ring. Went for a suplex on Jimmy. Jimmy tagged in. Jay and Jimmy then double super kicked Rusev, which was good enough for the pinfall. The Usos and Ricochet and Aleister Black win in another throwaway 8-man tag here on SmackDown Live. I still don't understand why the Usos weren't given more of a prominent role at WrestleMania. I still don't understand why we're getting Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura as a fucking tag team on SmackDown Live. Out comes Alexa Bliss. Out comes Alexa Bliss. I don't mind looking at Alexa Bliss, but man, I don't know what the fuck she's doing on SmackDown Live. The brand split is completely out the fucking window. If it's not Rey Mysterio on Monday Night Raw, if it's not fucking Samoa Joe on Monday Night Raw, it's Alexa Bliss showing up on SmackDown, it's the Iconic showing up on Raw. Nothing matters anymore. It's a fucking free-for-all, and WWE's doing nothing to explain any of it. So, I guess the brand split is absolutely worthless in everybody's eyes. Anyway, Alexa Bliss walks out. She said, long time no see, and she didn't want to be there. Good, I don't want you here. I don't want you here. Go back to Raw. She said that duty calls, as she is the official host of WrestleMania. She said a lot has changed since last night. She said Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda Rousey have been released from jail. She called them juvenile delinquents. And she said Kofi will challenge Daniel Bryan. And KO is acting like a better talk show host than her. Maybe, honey, because he is. Maybe he is. I would much rather watch Kevin Owens than Alexa Bliss. That's just me. Anyway, maybe not. Maybe not. But in terms of talk shows I'm talking about, get your mind out of the gutter, clowns. Okay? I would rather watch Kevin Owens than Alexa Bliss. KO show and a moment of piss. She says that she has an announcement tonight. The Usos, they did a good deed. They were good Samaritans on SmackDown Live last week. They helped Kofi Kingston advance to the WrestleMania main event. She said what they did was so noble and heroic and so deserving of repercussions. She announced that at WrestleMania they will defend their SmackDown Live tag team titles against the 3 teams that they just shared the ring with in a fatal 4-way tag team title match. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I called it as the match happened. And I question here, where nobody else is going to question anything. Weren't Aleister Black and Ricochet just on Monday Night Raw vying for the Raw tag team titles? Why are they vying for the Raw tag team titles, only to show up on Tuesday night and get a SmackDown Live tag team title match? I don't mind seeing them at WrestleMania, but I would like for them to be in something that makes a little bit more sense. That's just putting somebody in a match for the sake of putting somebody in a match. Now, what WWE should have did, instead of booking the fucking Usos match with 1 week left to go, not even a week, 5 fucking days, what WWE should have did is we're talking about unification matches here with the women, possible unification. Becky Lynch walking out with both Raw and SmackDown titles. Why don't we get the Usos versus the Revival for a unification of the tag team championships in WWE? Is there really a need for 2 tag team titles? There's no team on Monday Night Raw. As I reported on Monday Night Raw and the podcast, Ricochet and Aleister Black more than likely are going to be going their separate ways. Amicably, they're not going to be feuding or anything, but WWE has phased them out with their loss to the Revival on Raw. They're phasing them out of the Raw tag team division. So that leaves us with the glorious ones, Rude and Gable. You got Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. And then you got the Revival and Heavy Machinery, who apparently Vince McMahon is very high up on. Believe it or not. So they could be in line for a major push. Maybe that's why they beat Rude and Gable in 3 fucking minutes last night. Either way you look at it, the tag team division in WWE, and I'm talking about Raw and SmackDown, could use a huge reset button. I don't understand it. And what I would do is a unification match, or at least I would have built towards one at WrestleMania, and then starting on Raw and SmackDown after Mania, I would have had every team in the WWE put in a huge tournament, and we crown new number 1 contenders through a tournament, and that's how you get the new division kicked off. That's exactly what I would have did. I don't know. I just don't like the fact that Ricochet and Aleister Black were on Raw for a tag team title match, only to show up on Tuesday and say, you know what? We're going to put you in the SmackDown Live tag team title match. It's kind of illogical. It's stupid. I don't understand it. I really don't get it. Let me know what you guys think about that. The Iconics make their way to the ring. I reached for the remote. I changed the channel. I put on the Food Network. I don't give a fuck what they had to say. I'm sure it was fucking god-awful. Moving on. We went from the Iconics to The Miz. The Miz. Miz is making his way down to the ring. They announced that Shane McMahon booked him to wrestle 3 opponents at once. Sanity. So Sanity was getting their burial tonight right before WrestleMania. So The Miz stood in the ring, talked about WrestleMania being a chance to make history. He mentioned Kofi Kingston. He mentioned Becky Lynch. He mentioned Miz and Mrs., which I will not watch ever. He mentioned Becky Lynch. Did I mention that he mentioned Becky Lynch? Because everybody's mentioning this fucking women's match. Tone it down a little bit. They went from exciting back in November to downright fucking nauseous. They dilute everything, does WWE. 6 times, 7 times in 1 hour, I got to hear about what happened on Monday Night Raw last night. You're making me not care about what's happening at WrestleMania. So he gets the cheap plug of Miz and Mrs. after SmackDown Live tonight. He's proud of the show and his family. Good for him. Says he fights with a full heart, and he's more motivated than he's ever been in his entire career. Really? You're more motivated than any other point in your entire career. You know, you were WWE champion, and you main evented WrestleMania with John Cena. You're more motivated now to fight Shane McMahon in a Falls Count Anywhere match than fighting in the main event of WrestleMania for the WWE Championship? I don't understand you. I really don't understand you. Anyway, The Miz says he's more motivated than he's ever been in his entire life. He says this is why he wanted the match with Shane to be a Falls Count Anywhere match. He vowed to beat Shane anywhere and everywhere. He said he now fights for the honor of his father. He told Shane he has a dad, which I guess makes you a son of a bitch. And Sanity comes down. Nobody gave a fuck about Sanity. The announcers didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck. You didn't give a fuck. The fans in Washington, D.C., or Baltimore, rather. Washington, D.C. was last night. Didn't give a shit. Shane came out before the match. He says he wanted to watch this up close and personal. Again, Greg Hamilton announced Shane McMahon. Better than ever. He's getting better with it every week. Sanity, Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, and Killian Dane versus The Miz. And The Miz ended up winning this match all by himself. He beat three men. So, by the way, Shane McMahon came out and made this a Falls Count Anywhere match in the first 3 minutes. He comes back out. He goes away, comes back out, makes it a Falls Count Anywhere match. So we get them fighting all over the building. And he pokes fun at his dad, calls him Mr. Potato Face again, showing his home screen on his mobile device of him choking The Miz's dad. So there you go. So The Miz ends up winning this match. Sanity gets buried. He beats Eric Young. He beats Alexander Wolf. And he beats Killian Dane. And I really don't understand the logic behind this whatsoever. The king of soft style, The Miz, is now apparently Superman. He channeled his inner Roman Reigns. Apparently he must have taken whatever Roman Reigns had for dinner tonight, and he applied it to his match with Sanity. I don't know what the fuck is going on. You know, everybody's talking about how great a babyface The Miz is becoming. If this is what we're going to see from The Miz, and especially what we got last week with him beating up security guards and everybody else and half of the fucking roster and catering, this is not what I want to see as far as a babyface Miz goes. This is 2 weeks now in which you're presenting him in a manner that is completely fucking illogical. The Miz is not fucking Clark Kent, okay? The Miz is not Bruce Wayne. He's not gonna put on a fucking costume and beat up an entire fucking city of thugs, okay? This is the fucking Miz we're talking about. This was bullshit. Fucking ridiculous. Killian Dane himself could eat The Miz as a fucking light snack in between lunch and dinner. Are you fucking kidding me? Man, what the fuck happened to Sanity? I swear to God, I hope the draft, or whatever the fuck they're calling it, international shakeup, whatever the fuck they do, I hope that people from the main roster move back down to NXT and vice versa, man. This waste of talent, this waste of roster space that you call up and you do nothing with but embarrass for whatever reason. You got to do something with them. Why are you paying these guys for them to job out to the fucking Miz? Can you imagine what the fucking conversation is on that car ride to the next city? Man, guys, we're in the WWE as a fucking threesome. We were in the War Games match. We're former NXT Tag Team Champions. We did great things in NXT for the time that we were down there. We get called up. We're thinking things are going to be on the up and up. And here we are as a threesome losing in a handicap match to the fucking Miz. Where did my life make a wrong turn? Seriously. I wish it was my head instead of Ronda Rousey's in the fucking police vehicle on Raw, says Eric Young. Absolutely pathetic. Pathetic. Now, they brawled into the fans. Miz dropped Wolf on a table set by the production area. He scored a near fall. That was broken up by Eric Young. Then he makes his way to the garage outside. He throws Killian Dane into an electrical box like a fucking bumbling fool. And he's got Eric Young on the outside. He lines Eric Young up against whatever, this fucking piece of whatever on the outside. It looked like a production crate covered in a blue cloth or something like that. There was production trucks in the background. He lines up Eric Young, kicks him with a soccer-style kick. Then he takes another, it looks like a huge like laundry bin on wheels, and he shoves it right into Eric Young's face and makes the pinfall 1-2-3. All the while, Becky Lynch is showing up in a fucking police vehicle, and she's looking down at Eric Young, thinking, ha ha ha, you ain't going to WrestleMania, go fuck yourself. So all the while the Miz is beating Sanity, Becky Lynch pulls up in a fucking police vehicle and makes her way into the arena. More illogical on top of more illogical. Where the fuck did Becky Lynch come from in a police vehicle? She was in Washington, D.C. with the Washington Police Department, and she shows up on SmackDown Live in a Baltimore police vehicle, all the while wearing a new outfit and fresh makeup. Now, I don't know the distance between Washington, D.C. and fucking Baltimore. Maybe 45 minutes to an hour, I'm assuming. Can't be that long. In the same vicinity. But I mean, give me a fucking break. Did Becky Lynch really need to show up in a police vehicle just to, again, throw it in your face as to what happened on Monday Night Raw last night? This is the shit. This is like worse than Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman, right? When he got dumped into the back of that garage, not the garage, the garbage truck at that TLC, showed up on Monday Night Raw in a different city in a different garbage truck. Come on, bro. You what do you think? Your fans are fucking stupid? I hate this shit. I'm not an idiot. God, this show makes me fucking sick sometimes, man. Clearly, nobody thinks. Nobody fucking thinks. How this makes it beyond quality control, I will never understand it. So she makes her way into the fucking arena. She makes her way into the arena. Remember when I said WWE dilutes everything? Becky Lynch didn't need to show up. She was the only one of the three who showed up. Did we need to see Becky Lynch tonight? Didn't we get enough of the circus last night? What did she say tonight, or what was she going to say tonight that was going to entice you anymore after last night? You created some fucking circus act on Monday Night Raw with fucking police clowns and exploding windows and cop cars and arrests, mugshots, the announcers going all through the show. Yes, they were incarcerated. Yes, they were put behind bars. Yes, they were released. All the while, Charlotte Flair is retweeting on Twitter while she's in fucking handcuffs. Guess you didn't think about that one, huh, Miss Queen? Fucking ridiculous. Becky came out. She's in the ring. It's good to be free and in Baltimore. Just take it easy over there. I heard it's not too safe in that part of town. She said no disrespect to Corey, but she answers to the fans, not him. He said that she was thinking a while back in the back of the cop car what a difference a year makes. And she said a year ago, she and Charlotte were best of friends and Ronda was about to make her debut at WrestleMania. She said the stars seemed to be aligned to get the queen and the baddest woman on the planet into the main event of WrestleMania. That wasn't until I smacked the smugness off Charlotte Flair's face at SummerSlam. She said that one strike changed everything. She then said that she was determined to do whatever it took to get into WrestleMania this year, and look at us now. Honestly, the turning point, the best thing for Becky Lynch, honestly, out of everything, which was a fucking blessing in disguise for this woman, is the fact that Nia Jax broke her nose. I guarantee you I would bet every fucking dime in my savings account that if Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey happened at Survivor Series the way that WWE had planned it without the broken nose, we would not be talking about Becky Lynch here in the main event of WrestleMania. And no question, the main event of WrestleMania would have been Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. Becky Lynch wouldn't even be in the equation. That punch by Nia Jax was an absolute fucking blessing in disguise for this woman. Yeah, the supposed heel turn that the fans rejected at SummerSlam was a great start, but not the turning point. The turning point was in that right hand by Nia Jax. She talked about their match. She said the real revolution that started at SummerSlam is going to explode this Sunday. She said she'll make one of those dopes tap. She said she'll be the double champ the next time that they see her. She dropped the mic, extended her arms in the air, and pointed at the WrestleMania sign. There you go. There you go. Becky Lynch is a free woman after the circus that was Monday Night Raw. Whatever she said here did not need to be said. It could have been in a long-winded tweet. We didn't need to see Becky Lynch after being arrested on Monday Night Raw. More stupidity by WWE Creative and them diluting something that was once special, and to me it really doesn't feel special anymore. And we'll talk about that on Friday when we get to the podcast, the WrestleMania preview and predictions on Off the Script. I was on my couch and I was watching the show, and we see a prompt on the screen for an 18-person tag team match. And I'm asking myself, what the fuck? Why is this happening on SmackDown Live? And then I proceeded to talk to myself as I'm sitting on my couch, saying to myself, this may be one of the worst go-home shows that I've seen for SmackDown Live. This was absolutely a waste of everybody's fucking time. A waste of everybody's fucking time. The winners here, it didn't matter because there was no fucking winners. WWE figured that they would put the men's and the women's battle royal together in a big 18-man tag team match, or 18-person, excuse me, I gotta be fucking politically correct here. 18-person tag team match with EC3, Andrade, Zelina Vega, Lana, Shelton Benjamin, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Naomi, Asuka, Heavy Machinery, both Otis and Tucker, Nikki Cross, R-Truth, and Carmella. Now, after all those names, I'm still fucking befuddled here. After all those names, which do not belong? I'm looking at two in particular. I'm looking at Asuka, and I'm looking at Andrade Cien Almas. Can someone please tell me in WWE Creative why Asuka is mixed in with a bunch of nobodies and why Andrade Cien Almas is mixed in with a bunch of nobodies? Seriously. You know, I want you guys to look at every woman right now, actively, on the WWE roster. Every woman on the active WWE roster. And there are a few women who are leagues, fucking atmospheres ahead of everybody else. That is Charlotte, that is Becky, that is Sasha, that is Bayley, and that is Asuka. And Asuka is mixed in with the fucking catering department. She got placed with the napkin folders and the silverware placers and the fucking, and the table setters here. In Titus Catering. Lacey Evans actually tweeted out, catering is delicious, or some shit like that, with a video of all the fucking delicious treats in catering. This is Andrade and Asuka? Asuka deserves so much better. Asuka is in the elite when you talk about women in WWE, and here she is on SmackDown Live mixed in with these fucking bums. I don't understand it. A lot of people are still pissed off about what WWE did to Asuka. A genuine injustice. This woman had a title match taken away from her, and she was given as a replacement the fucking Battle Royal. Asuka is not in the same league as Mandy Rose, or Sonya Deville, or Nikki Cross, or Carmella, or Naomi. She's not. She's part of the elite. Start treating her like part of the elite. This woman is too talented to be fucking mixing it up with these clowns. Same thing with Andrade. Asuka, in many people's eyes, deserves to be a part of the main event. She's the one woman in this entire bullshit that deserves to be in a championship match, and she's not. Andrade deserves to be a champion in WWE. The guy's too good to just simply overlook. And he's treated like a fucking jobber. This was fucking pathetic. I don't even know why they billed towards the Battle Royals in WrestleMania season. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. If the winners were getting something out of it, then I would understand. Name one fucking winner of these Battle Royals in previous years that has gone on to do something great. Have they become world champions? Mojo Rawley, for fucking Christ's sakes, is talking to a fucking mirror. Fucking ridiculous, man. I don't understand how WWE can put something like this on and call it build towards WrestleMania. Moving on. Samoa Joe versus Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali. Now, it was supposed to be Rey Mysterio versus Andrade Cien Almas. That clearly did not happen. Andrade Cien Almas actually tweeted out that he was going to be in the main event tonight with Rey Mysterio. Clearly that happened. He posted a picture or a gif of him doing Tranquilo. And in the Twitter thread, Charlotte did Tranquilo with the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. They are an item. So everybody was going crazy in the comment section because everybody likes to fucking poke their nose into other people's business. So instead of Andrade Cien Almas and Rey Mysterio, we got Samoa Joe and Mustafa Ali. Now, apparently Rey Mysterio is injured. That's why the match did not happen. Not only is he injured, his WrestleMania match is in question. This actually may be a blessing in disguise for Andrade Cien Almas. WrestleMania could possibly be without a United States Championship match tonight. Mysterio faced Baron Corbin in the main event of Monday Night Raw. Yes, let me repeat that. If you guys did not watch Raw, Rey Mysterio and Baron Corbin was the last thing that you seen on the road to WrestleMania for Monday Night Raw. In the main event. In the main event. I swear to God, if you're listening to me and you did not walk out before that match started, I don't want you watching me anymore. But he was injured during that match. It is said that he suffered from an ankle injury, although Kayla Braxton didn't supply much information on the original reports. Due to that injury, I don't know where she was. I don't even know if she was on the show, if she did this on Twitter or social media. I don't know, nor do I care. Due to this injury, Mysterio's match against Andrade is now canceled for SmackDown Live, and he will be reevaluated closer to WrestleMania to see if he's able to work at WrestleMania against Samoa Joe. Mysterio has the United States title match against Joe, and it was kind of a big deal for Rey. It was a big deal for Samoa Joe, too. This, I believe, would be his first WrestleMania in a championship match, nonetheless. Rey Mysterio, this would be a big deal for him because Dominic, his son, was a part of the storyline. So obviously I will keep you guys updated on this. I don't know what this means. If Rey Mysterio is not able to go, WWE has an easy solution here. You know, that sloppy ladder match that they refuse to put on, yet they have 2 or 3 of them a fucking year. Yeah, the sloppy ladder match. Simple solution. You take Andrade, you take R-Truth, and you take Mustafa Ali. You put Rusev and Nakamura in a fucking ladder match for the United States Championship. Fuck, put John Cena in that match for shits and giggles. There you go. United States Championship ladder match at WrestleMania. If Rey is not able to go, when Rey is better and healthy, he'll get the first crack at the championship, being that he didn't get his shot at WrestleMania. That would take Andrade and Mustafa Ali out of the Battle Royal, where they don't belong, and they would be put into a high-profile match at WrestleMania, one that could ultimately steal the show. I just fixed your potential issue. Hopefully, it's not as serious as it sounds, and he won't miss WrestleMania, but if he does miss it, the simple solution is there. And you'll get those guys out of the Battle Royal that don't deserve to be in a Battle Royal. They deserve much better. Joe wins here against Mustafa Ali. Quick match. Coquina clutch for the win after Mustafa Ali went for a 450 and missed. And he applied the Coquina clutch, did Joe, for the win. Ali and his momentum has clearly left him behind. It is completely gone. Hopefully he regains that at some point in 2019, because realistically I feel bad for him that Kofi Kingston just was given this opportunity and Mustafa Ali was supposed to be in his position. Only got that one title match at Fastlane. Impromptu title match. And I hope that he recovers from that, because I don't know what the fuck he's thinking, having that spot taken away from him and not to regain it. I think that would make him feel terrible. Joe won clean here. So did the Usos earlier in the night. We had two champions on SmackDown Live win clean on the go-home show. I wasn't sure at this point if I was watching SmackDown Live or if I was watching the fucking Twilight Zone. Champions winning clean in WWE. Unbelievable. Moving on. Joe, by the way, looked like a fucking loser. He lost so many fucking times, it didn't even feel important when he won. It did not feel important. I don't know if that's because of Mustafa Ali and his momentum being killed, or the fact that Joe is a proverbial loser in WWE's eyes, which we know he's not. I don't know. Moving on here, Daniel Bryan and Rowan walk down to the ring. Daniel Bryan's got a big fucking sloth on his t-shirt. I LOL'd. Sloths are cool. Bryan and Rowan sitting down at the contract table. Michael Cole moderating it. He was hosting it for whatever reason. I don't fucking know. Michael Cole comes out of nowhere. Bad enough we see him on Monday Night Raw. We got to hear his fucking garbage-ass voice on SmackDown Live. New Day dance their way to the ring, flipping pancakes into the fucking crowd. Yeah, you're WWE champion, folks. Kofi Kingston flicking pancakes into the fucking ring and into the crowd. Bryan told Cole he would take things from here. Good on you, Mr. Daniel Bryan. He said that he had life lessons for everybody. I shut up and I listened. He said fans should learn not to be complacent. He told Kofi not to make a mistake or not to mistake fad for truth. So fans were going crazy at this point, chanting Kofi. They were chanting Kofi Mania. New Day rocks. Kofi rocks. Bryan told Kofi he was in the place where Kofi is now. He said the fans' support makes him feel stronger, but the truth is they don't feed off of that fan support. But rather the fans feed off of Kofi because they are parasites. Now this elicited big boos. Daniel Bryan is fucking absolutely fantastic at what he does. They need you to fulfill whatever fantasy they have in their life, but once they are done sucking all the positivity out of you, they will discard you. I found this line to be quite interesting. They need you to fulfill whatever fantasy they have in their life, but once they are done sucking all the positivity out of you, they will discard you. Now, I don't want to get on board with the conspiracy theories, but when I heard Daniel Bryan say this, it could be interpreted as him talking, in theory, about Xavier Woods and Big E. And maybe those are undertones in Xavier and Big E turning heel on Kofi Kingston. Because honestly, there have been no bigger supporters for Kofi Kingston than Big E and Xavier Woods. It is their fantasy to see their friend, who's battled for 11 years, get a WWE Championship opportunity and win the championship at the biggest wrestling event of the year. They are using Kofi to fulfill whatever fantasy they have, and when they are done sucking all the positivity out of you, they're going to get rid of you. Could that be leading the New Day to turn on Kofi Kingston? Did Daniel Bryan and what he said tonight, was it undertones in a heel turn for the New Day? I don't know. Fans started chanting asshole at Bryan. Bryan obviously retaliated and says, yeah, that's what they say to all the truth tellers throughout history. Bryan told Kofi to suck it all in because for you, this is the best it's ever going to be. Kofi stood up. He got up, looked at Bryan. He said for months, they've had to listen to him, educate them. It's now time for Bryan to shut his mouth while Kofi educates Bryan. He said Bryan claims to know what he's feeling, but the more he talks, he realizes he doesn't know a damn thing about him. He said he became world champion within the first 2 years of him arriving in the WWE. He says he watched it, he observed it, he understood it. He said Bryan hasn't been through what he's been through because in 11 years, he hasn't had a single match for the WWE Championship or a singles match for the WWE Championship, but that's okay because it all has led to this. He says he can tell Bryan can see that he is ready, and it's why he trembles when he watches him. Kofi said it's true Bryan knows what he feels like, and he's scared as hell because he knows what comes next. Bryan knows how it feels because Bryan was in the same position as Kofi. Bryan knew what came next. He was going to conquer the Authority and win the WWE Championship. Kofi says he knows next, and he's going to win the WWE Championship. He beats him at WrestleMania, and he becomes the WWE Champion. He signed the contract. Xavier and Big E start dancing behind him, and that was pretty much it. That's the way SmackDown Live went off the air. I loved the way this was because this set up a major heel versus a major babyface. Everybody is fully invested. Bryan is absolutely on top of his game right now as a heel character. He is getting underneath everybody's skin. Bryan's work alone is making Kofi's push to the top and a WWE Championship win that much more special because of how good he is. For everybody that's on this Kofi Mania train, and you guys wanting Kofi Kingston to win the WWE Championship, Kofi winning the WWE Championship is going to be a great moment. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a great moment. And I fully expect him to win the WWE Championship, and I'll explain why in a second. And then we'll reiterate this again on Friday. Kofi Kingston's going to win the WWE Championship. No matter how convoluted the story was, no matter how many gauntlet matches they gave us, WWE has made it special. The characters are in place. The storyline has been told. Kofi Kingston's going to win the WWE Championship, but when he does it, it's not going to be because of the rise or the 11 years or the opportunity that Kofi was finally given. Kofi's grand moment of holding up the championship is going to feel that much more special because of Daniel Bryan and what he has done to get Kofi to that next level. The amount of fucking heel that Daniel Bryan is playing right now is absolutely exactly what you want out of a heel in a major program at a show like this. It's going to make the overall fucking feel of it when that moment comes that much bigger. So you got to give kudos to Daniel Bryan at the end of the night. Honestly, I'm all for Kofi Kingston winning the WWE Championship. I really am. I fully expect him to. And one of the major reasons because of that is I don't expect Daniel Bryan to go into Saudi Arabia with the WWE Championship. This gives WWE the opportunity to have Bryan sit out. He doesn't get to travel over there. He'll come back to this, or they'll come back to the States. He'll get his match again. He'll fight to the top again and get the rematch against the WWE Champion, Kofi Kingston. They'll be fine. Kofi Kingston could go to Saudi Arabia and defend the title against Kevin Owens or Mustafa Ali or someone along those lines in Saudi Arabia. So Daniel Bryan losing the WWE title could very well happen simply because he doesn't want to travel to Saudi Arabia in May and then come back to the United States and boom. WWE could put the title back on Kofi Kingston. He'll get a token 1-month title reign and we're off to the races for Fox Sports in October. Kofi Kingston's not going to be the WWE champion going into October. He's not going to have, again, a CM Punk title reign. But Kofi Kingston's title run is going to feel that much special because of the role that Daniel Bryan played. This was brilliant. I absolutely love this contract signing. It's very difficult to take that title off of Daniel Bryan just because of how great he has been. Really. I don't really understand, outside of Kofi Kingston, who is there on SmackDown Live that is a fresh babyface for Daniel Bryan to feud with? Really. There's really no other heel on SmackDown Live. Even if Kofi is the champion, there's really no other heel like a Daniel Bryan for Kofi to even feud with. Maybe a Randy Orton, but nobody wants to see that again. Daniel Bryan is so great at what he does right now, it's very difficult to even look at him without the WWE title. I love that. I'm excited about that match at WrestleMania. I'm really excited to see what type of match they put together. I know Daniel Bryan's going to fucking do the deed, and he's going to make that shit feel fucking epic. I know I shit on this. I know I was off the Kofi Mania train and then on it and then off it and on it. I don't feel like Kofi is a WWE champion for the long term. For maybe a short term, I'm okay with it. And maybe the heel turn does come. I don't know. I really don't know. Daniel Bryan did mention tonight that don't get complacent. Kofi got complacent. Big E and Xavier Woods got him in the WrestleMania main event for the WWE title. Nothing Kofi Kingston did. Daniel Bryan clearly pointed that out. That could also be another one of those underlying tones that Daniel Bryan just casually throwing out there. You don't think Big E and Xavier Woods know that they got Kofi into the main event? We did everything we could to help you. And then we were the ones who were put in the position to get you in there? And then that line about sucking all the positivity out of you and then dumping you? These could be things that are kind of out there in the open, but really nobody's paying attention to for the New Day to turn heel on Kofi Kingston. I don't know. We'll see what happens. SmackDown Live tonight was not good at all. That contract signing with Kofi and Daniel Bryan was fantastic. And everything else on this show, a complete miss. An absolute miss. WWE clearly was very lackadaisical, very lethargic with this show. They didn't give a shit about anything. They just want to get into New York. They want to get into New Jersey. They want to get into WrestleMania. And I can't fucking wait. I can't wait for this entire WrestleMania season to be over. Thank you guys so very much for all your support, man. Hit that thumbs up. Follow me on social media. JD from NY206 on both Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. You guys missed all the videos. You know where they are in the top right corner in that little annotation. You see right there. Drop it down. Everything you need is right there. Hooters, RSVP down below. I'll see you guys at Hooters of New York, right across from Madison Square Garden on Friday, April 5th from 1 to 4 p.m. And JD's Elite on bonfire.com. Link for your t-shirts. Go and get yours today. Link is down in the description of this very video. Hit that thumbs up, man. I'll see you guys for NXT and the rest of this week's content for WrestleMania week. I'm JD. Thank you guys so very much, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for NXT, the go-home show for TakeOver New York. I'll see you guys then.